So a couple of days ago, I made a pretty big riff on X, and this is not one of the things I normally do. I don't really get into the social media stuff, but from time to time, I do speak my mind on certain things. Social media is usually for just posting my videos and just let the things fall where they may. But Madden 27, college football 27 news came out, and I saw the whole pay wall type of situation. I made a video about that, and you can check that video out as well. But I also put this out on X, and this is basically what it said. It says, I don't know, man. College football 27, or college football and Madden 27 having franchise and dynasty things paywalled is where I officially get off. I don't play these games like that anymore anyway. And that is true. I haven't really got into these games as much as I should. I played a good bit of the last series, but that's like the first time in years. And I don't think this is going to be a thing where I was going to play and buy these games yearly anyway. So at the end of the day, I wasn't really looking forward to these two games. But when I did look at, Madden 27 and college football 27 with this situation, I was like, yeah. And I got a good bit of, good feedback, not backlash. Because, you had a few people saying, oh, you'll be back, this, that, and the third. And that's partially true. I probably would play these games, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. But the feedback I got back was pretty cool. And I want to talk about that as far as how people really feel about the game. Now, basically what I got from this is some people feel the same way. A lot of people do not want things paywalled behind, a dynasty mode or whatever, or just don't want the mode paywalled in general, which that's not the case. Just certain things, a trait, and I think it was like some the skill tree, that's where they start. And some people are starting to think that as well. You also had other people thinking that, it's okay, the game is good, people are complaining or whatever. Now, these are probably the same people that did not mind paying $30 a month for Game Pass when even Xbox understood that that wasn't ideal and they lowered the price. But you just got people who will pay for anything at any time, and that is absolutely fine. But this is where I kind of have an issue with people who know things are wrong and they try to defend it. Now, I'm not going to point anybody out. I'm not going to scroll down the comments or the quoted tweets or whatever. I'm not going to do that because I'm not in the business really pointing people out in that situation. But what I will say is you also have to understand where your fellow consumers are and meet them somewhere in the middle where you have to understand how people are with their money. Now, this channel is a big advocate for buying games at the best price possible. I don't feel like anybody should get broke or go broke by going through this hobby. And I'm not saying that, literally like people going broke, but you got to find the best value wherever you can get it. Now, when I said earlier, what some people say I'll be back, like, yeah, I probably will be back and I will play college football or Madden 27 in some form of capacity. It's not like I'm going to drop the game all the way. I do want to try it. But for me to actually pay $70 and actually buy this game and actually, support what they're doing, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to support it. I will buy the game used where I know that EA won't get any of the revenue, and I'll try the game out. And if I like it, it is what it is. Because, at the end of the day, I'm not necessarily here for, these companies. And some people are. Some people, do these videos and they do this content to get paid and to get perks for these companies. And I'm not here for that. At the end of the day, I am a person that basically like to play video games. This is my hobby. I'm not here to get rich. I'm not here to, try to make it big on content creating. I'm just a guy that loves to go to work every day. I love, spending time with my family, and this is a hobby of mine. I'm not here to be like, hey, look at me. I'm this guy and I'm going to be the spokesperson for whatever game. No, my thing is for you. If you're watching this, I want you to have fun playing games, and I want you to be fiscally responsible while doing it. Because at the end of the day, all this stuff is just a hobby. You don't need to be following people who are just going to make you fly off a cliff thinking that you got to keep up with the Joneses. Some of these games that are incredibly good that you can get for a very decent price, wherever it may be. And this is where I look at, like, when I like to do these type of videos and I like to talk about games, that's basically off of that, that premise. That's why I still play a lot of retro stuff. This is why I still play games and I'll wait a year like I just did with NBA 2K26, but I'll probably be doing a video about that sometime down the road because, yeah, and this is why you see a lot of older titles on this channel. Now I do play new stuff too. Don't get me wrong, I do. I mean, I some games are worth buying day one. 007 First Light, but mostly I'm more like you don't have to fall into predatory practices, and I feel like that's what EA is doing now. And there's other companies that do it as well. 2K is a very big proponent of it. This is why I wait for a year to buy the game. And there's other companies that do it as well, but I just don't mess with it at all. I just happen to be a big sports fan. Now, another thing, I do want to give you a little bit of background before I get out of here. I have been, one of those people who try the game out early because, a lot of people who are defending this stuff are people who make content who get games early or they want to get games early or whatever the case may be. When I was trying out the golf game for EA Sports Golf, I did get a chance to access to that early, and I did meet a lot of the developers there, and they were phenomenal people. But I know at the end of the day, I was always honest with them and being straight up. Fortunately, those guys made an incredible golf game, and that's one of the best games EA has put out in a very long time. That golf game is absolutely amazing, still to this day. But I know one thing for sure, I would not defend anything that's not worth defending. And if that game was bad, I would tell anybody. It doesn't matter. I don't. It doesn't matter. Whatever I'm trying to do to get ahead in this YouTube thing. That's one thing I basically let them know. Like, look, I'm not going to sit here and you know actually be negative, but at the same time, if something wrong, I'm going to say it. But they put out a phenomenal game, and I didn't have to sign anything or do anything like that. But um, I know that at some point I knew that I was not going to be able to be a part of anything like that again because I kind of got pushed to the side at the end of the day. Even with the games, I mean, even with the videos I did about the game, it just wasn't. But I'm not here to really necessarily talk about that, but I really wanted to just point that out because I've been on both sides of the spectrum. I've been there and I know what it's like. And I know when wrongdoing is being made, and this is wrong. I don't care what anybody says about the game. They can love the game, and that's 100% fine. If you're willing to pay for this stuff, that is cool. I'm not telling you not to pay for it. But we can also acknowledge that some of this stuff is unethical. For you to paywall certain things that's within a mode, and it's just the beginning of the end. And I know a lot of companies are doing this now, and this is something that people are just getting used to. For me, I don't think I will ever get used to it. I will gladly wait till Madden 27 goes down to $3 to play this game. I will gladly wait for college football to get down to $3 to play this game. These sports titles don't last. So I mean, the value of them goes away by the time the Super Bowl is here. So I have no problem waiting for that because I'm not that big on a fix. I just want to play a good game at the right price. And this is why I do these videos. This is why I talk about this stuff. If it's worth the day one purchase, maybe it is based on the gameplay, but I'm not going to go along with these practices they're doing. I would gladly stand on business. I have no problem doing that, and I mean, I did it with college football 26. I did it with Madden 26. I waited till the games got down to like under $20, and I've been having a blast with it. But this is the thing. I'm not here to toot my own. I'm just here to give you guys some type of insight on what happened this weekend. And not to say I'm beating my chest or anything like that because that's not my thing. But I am actually glad that a lot of people do feel the same way. Maybe they will follow through with it and say that they will. Their actions speak along with their words. But I don't know. I'm not here for that. But I know one thing for me that, as much as I want to see the Falcons in the new uniforms for Madden 27, I can really wait. I can wait on that. I'm not really jonesing for it. It's not a big deal. I will put this disclaimer out here though. If I do get the game for free, I will try it, but I will not be paying for it with my own money. But nevertheless, I don't want to get into more of that. I just wanted to get that out there because I do like the feedback of this post. I thought it was pretty awesome, and a lot of people seem like they want to stand on business, but we'll only time will tell because these football games are they're massive. They sell well. They're the only football games in town, and people tend to buy them. So it is what it is. But um, I just love the feedback. I thought it was really cool. But nevertheless, I'm gonna get out of here. I really appreciate you if you made it this far. You guys are absolutely awesome, and yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys on the next video and or live stream. All right, y'all take it easy and y'all be blessed. Peace.